welcome to our live stream, sort of. We had you guys submit some questions ahead of time so we can record this. That way we can list our questions down below. If you see something specific, you can jump right to that so you don't have to hear me babble about something you already know about. And while this video is premiering, I'll be on the laptop typing away, answering your questions on the side. Got it? All right, here we go. Okay, so it's April and the weirdest time of anybody's life where we're all stuck inside. We've released a website and we've kind of incorporated a car show with that, the International Quarantine Car Show, which is going very, very well. Thank you to everybody who submitted. You guys have some amazing rides and it's awesome because it's from all over the place. Some of them are massive so that they don't typically go to car shows. We've done this just to kind of keep you guys entertained. Something to browse while you're having your morning coffee. So if you haven't checked it out yet, absolutely go there and check it out. We made some merch around that. 100% of the proceeds of that goes to Doctors Without Borders. We've raised $3,100 so far American, which is over $4,000 Canadian. That's awesome. While you're there, you can check out the website that we've been building for the last 8 months. There's a pile of stuff. If you keep scrolling down, you can see the actual website. And we'll talk about more after the quarantine car show is over. We've got 6 different YouTube judges judging different categories. So if you haven't done already, submit your rides. We don't care. We want to see them. Put it on there. I don't care if it's military, airplane, helicopter, boats. I don't care. I want to see it on there. If it's got an engine and it runs on some sort of petrol, if it's even electric. We'll see your electric.
Did you see the wood power car?
I didn't see the woodpecker. We have one that's wood powered on there, and if that doesn't spark your interest, I missed that one. So if it runs on something and it moves, I want to see it. And you can maybe have your favorite YouTuber look at your car. When else are you gonna have to see that? We're still figuring that out. We're talking to the judges and seeing how they want to judge it, whether that happens on their channel or on our channel. We're not sure. We're flying by the seat of our pants. We're just kind of making this up as we go. So you'll have to stick around to see how it's going to be judged. But we kind of need all the other YouTubers to be in consensus with a good way to do this. We want to send you guys over to their channels because they are some of the hardest working mechanics and YouTubers that we know, and they're actually really cool. So yeah, you'll have to stick around. I think Aaron and the other computer guy and the other editors are figuring that out. So I don't know. Not bad, actually. We managed to get a pile of parts before this all started. Parts for the Audi C10. The GTO is getting a pile of upgrades. So I've got enough work to keep me busy for probably 3-4 months. And I'm okay with that. My phone's been broken. I'm waiting for another phone. I've been enjoying the quiet time. I've been 2 months behind my whole life since I became self-employed, and I'm actually, now the rest of the world slows down and I get to catch up a little bit. All of our shows are canceled as far as we know. Power Tour is still happening. I have my doubts. We heard some really bad news that the Mudcat Festival, after 45 years, is canceled this year. It's heartbreaking. It's our festival in town where we celebrate a giant fish that goes on the bottom of the river, and we have a 50-foot fiberglass fish in the air to commemorate this stupid mudcat, and this year we'll have to celebrate it from our own homes. Terrible, but all things considering, it's not that bad. So we're making it through the pandemic fine. We're gonna keep making videos. Farming has to keep going, so we got some more stuff coming up with Kevin. We started a second channel just to separate the heavy duty stuff from the car stuff, the on-road stuff, and that's basically just kind of streamlined so you guys know what to expect. We're gonna upload some videos there. We got our 4,000 minutes and our subscribers. I think we're already up to 23,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. We're waiting for that to monetize because we're paying editors to make videos. As soon as we get monetized, we'll start putting more videos up there. But if you haven't checked out DEBOSS Garage Heavy Duty, DGHD, head over there, subscribe. Lots of good stuff coming up there. Our issue with Canada is that a lot of companies won't ship parts that we're working with right now to Canada. So So we get them shipped to the border, and then we have to drive across the border, claim them, because we have to do all the brokerage and stuff ourselves. And I went right before they closed the border, and they told me that I had to, because I was out of the country, I had to self-quarantine for 2 weeks, which was fine. But then I didn't get all my parts that I thought were there. So 2 days later, I get another call saying, hey, you got more parts. And I need those parts. And they're stuck at the border. So I think we have a buddy coming back, a snowbird, that might be able to pick up the last of the parts. If not, maybe they'll open the border again. I have lots of work. But my issue is that I need some specific parts, and I can take each one of these rides to like 90%, and then the last 10%, I'm gonna run into a fitting that I don't have, or something that I can't get, or a part that I need, and that's gonna be kind of a pain. Mechanics are essential. So the other parts stores, local parts stores are still open, and we can get parts and stuff that way. So we can keep doing what we're doing. But so far, we're about 6 weeks into the pandemic, and we're kind of cruising through. I'm loving life because the rest of the world kind of slowed down, and I'm still working my ass off, working late nights. I know that the editors are as well. I'm not slowing down at all. My wife still works a few days a week, so then I still have the kids. So it's nice, we finished up upstairs, and I can keep them entertained there for 3 hours or so at a time, which lets me do some small stuff, but again, they need supervision and stuff too. So it's slower in the day, working late nights. I don't know what day of the week it is. Sunday mornings we watch church on TV, and that kind of starts me at day one again, and then we just work until my wife says it's church time again. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Hopefully you guys are staying safe, and hopefully you guys are kind of cruising through as well. So the car market, I think, is going to change completely. I think you're going to see some stellar deals on new vehicles. I don't know what the used market's going to do, but I think a lot of people are going to realize that they don't need to drive as much as they originally did. I think a lot of businesses are like, oh, hey, takes you a little bit longer to do work, but instead of driving to work and sitting in traffic for an hour and a half, there and back, that's an extra 3 hours a day. They can work from home for 2-3 days a week. Maybe we can drop a vehicle. I think we're gonna see a big shift in what's coming up. I know GM releases a vehicle once a month or once a week. I can't remember. But all those vehicles that were going to be released are now being pushed back. So now they're all going to be jumbled in. The Bronco, we were looking for that. That should have been coming out right about now. What are they doing with that? That is millions and millions of dollars invested and places being rented and to all these media people showing up, and then all of that needs to play catch up, and it's gonna be kind of crazy. But yeah, never really followed the new car market that much. We will be driving a new truck, the 3-liter diesel. We finally got our hands on a Silverado, so check that video coming up, hopefully, unless I get busted picking it up. But yeah, crazy times. Yeah, we plan to travel a lot. We were hoping to go to Australia later this summer. We were hoping to, lots more in the States. We will start to travel more and more, but yeah, one thing at a time till all this stuff figures out. That I have so much in my mind, and when it's like, I have to just shove all that other stuff out of the way. It's like, okay, you can't go anywhere until they say it's okay, and we don't know when that is. Good, I'm not gonna worry about where we're going or when or what. I'm gonna pretend that all the shows that we're going to are still happening if they haven't canceled yet. So Power Tour, I expect them to cancel that any day. Allis Fest East, Ford Fest East, we're hoping to hit that. Carlisle and Import Fest, we'll maybe hit those. Like the Audi's pretty well ready to go, but I'm gonna keep going on it. It's a bunch of small little things to do yet, but yeah, for now, it's easier to not worry about stuff that you can't change and then just focus one thing at a time. It's like, okay, I'm working on the Audi, and I'm having a hard time falling asleep because I'm so excited about each one of my projects here. The C10, the Audi, and the GTO, where I close my eyes and I just can't stop thinking about what I'm doing, and I can't let other stuff bother me yet. The COVID, the whatever else, I just focus on one thing at a time. When that one's done, I'll worry about the next problem. and that seems to be working for me in this last little bit. I'm hoping to catch up on the projects, hoping to not buy any more, but I just bought another one today. So I bid on another one my wife doesn't know about. So yeah, the Audi's almost done, so then I can buy another project, right? That makes sense. So
you want to just count them, don't even.
So do I count yours too?
Sure.
The Audi, yeah, we're counting them. Between the YouTube channel and me. Do buses count? C10, no, this isn't it. So 8. Oh man, that's scary. Then the Saturn, Silverado. Shit. Oh, that's bad. I'm gonna count the Audi as running. How many vehicles do I have? I'd name them off, but there's a couple that we can't mention right now because they're coming out up on the YouTube channel and other projects that we're excited about. But I have 11 vehicles between the YouTube channel and me personally, and I'm happy to say that 5 of them are running and could go down the road or the track. And the 6th one is very close to being running, and then the 7th one isn't that far off either if I just need like 3 days on it. So yeah, 11, and then 7 of them, 5 of them are running, 7 of them will be running within another 2 months. So that's not bad, really. No, 8, because I can fire the one up. It's not really safe for the road, but it does run and move. So 8 of them. 6 of them right now, 8 of them in 2 months, and then we're gonna get rid of some.
How many engines do you have?
How many engines? What car is my daily driver? My Silverado is still my daily driver. I still love that truck, and good stuff coming up with the Silverado. If you guys remember, I bought a new body for it from North Carolina. The reason I did that is because we drove the Ford home and I loved that Ford. So I figured if I bought a body for it, I'd have to keep my Silverado on the road and spend some time with it. As a daily, I don't really drive that often. If my wife is home from work, if I just need to go to town, I just hop in the Saturn. It's still the cheapest car. It's got 440,000 kilometers on it now. And we'll be replacing it, I think, at the end of this year. But again, it's just my Silverado. But since the pandemic started, fuel went down. I've been kind of bombing around in the Ford again because I can actually afford to drive the Ford. When am I gonna do more conversions? I've never stopped, but like, if you guys want me to stop halfway through and grab another one, we can do that, and we just have a bunch of projects that don't run, but the C10's got the Duramax, the F350, the Caterpillar's getting built right now. The transmission is that we're gonna use the 2000. We got a Duramax transfer case for that, a manual transfer case that's going to be adapted to the 2000, and the 2000 going to be rebuilt and turned into a 6-speed. And then that's going in the F350 with the dash out of a 2011 and a nice King Ranch interior. My Silverado, it's got the 12 valve in it, but we got the new body for it, and I'm looking for a 24 valve to maybe P-pump that instead. And then maybe putting compounds on that, just starting to explore that, seeing if we can make that work. And then after that, we're still bound and bent on doing a Coyote because I put Fords down a lot. The early 2000s or 2000 to 2010 were kind of junk. But the Coyotes are good engines. Scott from Northtown tells me that they're way better than LS's, and I believe him. I think that they are at least 2 times as expensive. But we are going to get a Coyote and put that in a Bronco. So that'll be next, and we've got a 2-stroke Detroit here too. We never stop doing conversions. And yeah, the C10 so the intake on the C10 isn't completely done yet. There's a lot of little stuff done because the whole world shut down, so we're just kind of going as we are. But the whole DEBOSS garage is about conversions. There is nothing stock except for...
Not even the right engine though, that's a bigger engine than what came.
Yeah, they didn't even have 455 back in 67, so when am I gonna start doing more conversions? Yeah, so we took the GTO on adventure drives with Rob Ferretti, tried to keep up with a bunch of supercars, and that did not work because we don't have overdrive. But we do now. We've got a new transmission, TCI. Overdrive is going into it, and that's super cool. It works with the sniper, where you can run the sniper through the TCI. The TCI, you can lock it out with your phone. So you can actually keep it from running. Even if you keep it running, you can't steal the car. If you steal the car, it's useless to you unless you unlock it with your phone, which is super cool. I didn't tell Scott to go crazy on the cylinder heads. We're gonna put some Edelbrock heads on it, take it to dyno, really tune the engine, get that locked down. It's getting air conditioning, RTX gauges for it, because the oil pressure gauge didn't work. So I got that stupid little mechanical one. So we got proper gauges for it, and we got a nicer interior for it. So lots more muscle car content coming up. We'd love to do a Lemons Rally. We've got Andy, who's got a yard full of cars that we can grab something out and bomb around in. We almost sold the K car to Mr. Regular, who was gonna use it for a Lemons Rally. But then that fell through, unfortunately. So, yeah, we're up for it, but one thing at a time. So the big push was to get stuff ready for LS Fest West, and then Power Tour, and then the C10 for Power Tour. And then I was gonna try and take a little bit of a breather. But if you guys think that we should get together maybe with Vice Grip Garage and do a Lemons Rally with him, or even like the whole rest of the Avengers crew, I think that would be a riot. We could almost take the cars from Power Tour and do a Lemons Rally with them, except the GTO. I think if you guys want to see a series like that, I'd be up for that. But yeah, that's future, Rich. Getting together with Zip Ties, Peg. I can tell you that I've had lots of conversations with Peg, super guy, family guy. We try to keep the language kind of clean. He's in the oil fields and that, and it's a different crowd. We're collaborating as much as we can, put it that way. Peg said it himself. He's like, I don't want to work with you guys because I don't want to drag you down. He gets a lot of his videos are demonetized, and he does it for the fun of it, and he is who he is. He's like, I don't want to go with you guys because I don't want your videos to get demonetized. So if that makes any sense, we might collaborate with him and then maybe not even let you guys see that.
Put it on his channel.
But we'll put it on his channels. They have to go there, I guess. I enjoy Southern Ontario because it's busy enough. We are within 2 hours driving of anything we could possibly want or need. So I invented and patented and had Tape Boss made an hour and a half from here. Every part that we need is in the city that's like an hour away, 45 minutes away. And then I live in a small town where we've got a lake, we've got a river, we've got great fishing, we've got great schools. So I love it in Ontario. I've gone to Nova Scotia and super laid back people. I think I'd like to buy a cottage or something in Nova Scotia and just hang out there and kind of take a step back in time and slow down and relax a little bit. But for now, I'm happy with Ontario, so. All right, to stop the rust, I don't have a good answer for you. My best answer is to sell everything you've got and move down to Arizona or California. They've got awesome places there where it doesn't rust. Here, under-oiling and washing it and actually driving it. Parking it is actually really bad for it. If you check out the Million Mile Dodge, it's a 96. That one still had the original rockers and doors and cab corners because he's got a million miles on the thing. It keeps it moving. So I found that when you park stuff, it really starts to rust. So wash it. We're gonna try and stop the rust on my new to me North Carolina body. And the Ford OBS that we got from California. We're gonna strip the whole truck down. We're going to put bed liner on the inside, on the bottom, like everywhere. And then put a Cummins in it that leaks oil like crazy. So it's like a constant under oiling. But I think that's about the best that you can do. If you don't want it to rust, park inside a building with humidity controlled environment and heated floors, and that's all you got. Or don't drive it. Sorry, I have no good answer for you. So the Dunnville Deli or the Squires, we don't eat out. We don't ever eat out. Like we eat out maybe 2 times a year. We don't take takeout. We go to Deb's Cuisine. She used to be the cook at the golf course, so we used to walk there and grab supper there. So we go there for dinner, but as for Squires, and when Luke comes down, he always buys Squire and we usually have a couple bites. That's fine, I don't mind it. I hate eating out because my wife is a very good cook, healthy food, And when we travel on the road, we eat crap. So when I get home, I just want like a salad and an apple and some good like home cooked food. Nothing that you can buy in a restaurant. So we don't really eat Kraft Dinner, but my wife makes an awesome mac and cheese. And it is one of the only things I put ketchup on. Everything else, applesauce and maple syrup. Honestly, life is good. Potatoes, like meat, ground beef, applesauce. Ice cream, applesauce. Also, all of those maple syrup works awesome. I'll tell you guys a secret. I said, don't buy coffee. And I was really good until there was a really cute girl working at the Tim Hortons. And then, I started going to Tim Hortons and then that didn't work out. And then, damn it, I was addicted to coffee. I'm happy making my own coffee and not going anywhere. There's lots of times where I go to town and I'm like, I could go for a coffee. And then I see like 18 cars in the drive-thru. I'm like, forget that. I just go home, make coffee, put my feet up and sit and drink it on my deck. So Tim Hortons it's an acquired taste for some. I can take it or leave it. The nice thing, here's a secret to life. If you want to be happy, just don't be picky. Just be happy with what you got. I don't care whether it's Tim Hortons or homemade or Insta Brew. Buddy Farmer makes really great instant coffee. It's like, it's all good. If you're really picky about your beers, you're gonna be really disappointed most of the time. So we go for the viewer build through the drive-thru, more just for the experience. It doesn't make sense going through like a fast food place. If all the places to go, Tim Hortons would be my choice. I don't really like McDonald's coffee. It kind of leaves like a slimy taste in the back of your mouth. I could leave McDonald's, but even when it's like $1, I'm like, yeah, it's not enough. So of all the places to go, Tim Hortons would be the place to go. But if I had my choice, I'd go and just stay home, which I do most of the time. Yeah, so that's an interesting question because I asked Jesse Coombs and Steve Darnell from Welder Up that question. And I said, you guys are very talented and do you regret going into TV? Because your shops would be successful whether there was a film crew there or not. You build some pretty cool stuff. And Steve kind of bounced around the question, and Jesse came to me afterwards. And I said, and the reason for that is we were gonna get Steve to do an all-wheel drive burnout in the Tahoe because it had the 4BT in it. And he said, I can't do it until 7 o'clock tonight. And my wife, we had a birthday party that night. And Jessie came to me and she looked me dead in the eyes and said, go home to your birthday party and forget the stupid burnout and all this crap. And I took that to heart. The YouTube's been fantastic. It's been a nice slow growth because there's 2 of us and we both have families and we make the time to spend the time with families. We work very hard to get families and they will always take priority over anything. When it's a single man's life to push and push and push and I don't have that motivation anymore. I push hard in the shop, but I'm at home for dinner. I put the kids on the bus, and that will always be my #1 thing. If I had to give that up and do YouTube, I'd give up YouTube.
It's a love-hate relationship for television. Just like Steve was saying, it takes away from your life. You devote so much time to making sure that you're meeting production deadlines versus your family deadlines and personal deadlines.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I don't have a social life.
No?
No, my social life is my Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, that's...
So if I took my day to day and I stuck in construction, if I had my crew and I worked hard, I would be a cell phone man right now with 10 guys working underneath me. I'd be bringing in somewhere between probably around, I would say $1 million a year building barns and big dairy farms, probably more. But I would be on the phone all the time and I'd be stressed out. I watched a lot of my friends build very successful businesses and sacrifice a lot in the meantime. I watched my boss who said you have to grow at the mechanic shop that I worked, and he's still growing, put an addition on the shop again. And I've also watched him lay in bed for 3 weeks not being able to get out because of stress and anxiety and whatever else, not being able to pay the bills. So I was gonna go big in construction and mechanics, and then both the main guys that I had fell through, and I'm so glad they did. I work by myself, I don't have a huge overhead. I work from home, I work an honest 60 to 70 hours a week, but that's going in the house, hanging out with family, and then it's dark, 7 o'clock, spending more time out here. I love what I do here, but that's my point right now. YouTube is kind of exponential. There's been a pile of opportunities opened up to us. I would never thought in my wildest dreams I would have a car like that behind me, or that car beside me, or even the C10. And I love the cars, but I'm okay to just drive my truck or a clapped out Mercedes diesel around town too. I don't need it. I really appreciate it, but I think YouTube is going to, right now, the way that we're growing, I'm going to be more successful in another 10 years than if I would have kept going in mechanics or construction. So it was not an easy climb, but the nice thing is, because there's two of us, I get to sweat and work hard in the mechanic side of it. Aaron worked countless hours editing and whatever else, but all the other stuff, you guys have no idea what it takes to edit the videos and do all the other computer stuff behind there. And because we were able to split that, we were able to keep our families sane and together, and yeah, we're gonna keep growing from here. So I'm very excited about what the future brings, and if I did it all again, I'd do it exactly the same way. We would never be able to build the Audi or the GTO or the C10 to the extent that we have without help. And the sponsorship, it was funny, it all started with Holly. We figured every video is kind of like a resume. We've done this, we've done this, we've done this. This is how you do it, this is how you do that. We did it in a professional manner, and we didn't really actively seek anything. Then when we went to the Project Car Challenge, Cletus came to me and said, you have to get a Dominator on there. You've got way too many things going on that you cannot control without a proper computer, and Holly's the one that makes the best one. I'm like, all right. So I said, Cletus, can I have your cell phone number? In a week, maybe you can give me their number and we can go from there. He goes, absolutely, gave me the cell phone number. I went home, gave him a little bit, and then I texted him saying, hey, Cletus, would you share your Holly contact? Never heard from him. Gave him a day, texted again, didn't hear him. Super busy guy. So then I thought, you know what, screw that, I will call Holly myself. So I called Holly, number off the internet. So can I talk to your marketing department? I said, hey, we built a pretty cool car. The Cletus said that we need your stuff on there. Wondering if there's any chance to work together. If there is, give me a call back. Let me know this is the channel, this is the car, and then that's it. 3 hours later, Holly called me back, says, your car is a piece of crap. We really don't want her name on that. But he goes, we watched some of your other videos. He goes, I've been away for a week and I'm behind, and now I'm 3 hours farther behind because we've been watching all your videos. Keep going with the car, and if you are, we'd be happy to help you out, write a list, and get your parts together. I hung up the phone with Holly. I'm like, holy crap, this is amazing. And then Cletus texted back saying, I'm so sorry, man, I'm so busy. Here's the number. And I'm like, yeah, thanks, Cletus, got it. Super cool guy, him as well. And from there, Holly introduced us to a pile of other companies. So they were the ones that started it, and Milwaukee reached out to us once we had 50,000 subscribers. And then a lot of other companies have offered us stuff, like offshore companies, and a lot of like video gaming stuff. And we turn all those down. If it's not automotive related, we really don't want to push that on the channel. And it was just going to shows and shaking hands and all that. So yeah, that's how it started. It's not easy, it doesn't fall in your lap. People think that there's companies out there that are just itching to give away their stuff. That's not the case. They need to see return on their investment, and a lot of them give away their parts. Parts doesn't actually pay the bills. You got to take that into consideration too. I can tell you right now, the toughest thing about business If you've got the drive and you work, there's always work. The toughest part is paperwork, and to find a good accountant that knows what they're doing and keeps up on that. The toughest part, I think, is to actually finish and do the numbers at the end of the day, and accounting for that and making sure you're paid for that. I think if you've got the drive, if you want to be self-employed, it's not easy, but it's probably because you love to work. If you love to work, you probably hate sitting down and doing paperwork. And the hardest thing about self-employment is the paperwork, plain and simple. No, that is a rich man's playtime when you need a write-off as a farmer, because those things are not cheap. If you check out the Fergus Truck Show, we hopped into I was in the sled, and we got to see the tractors pull the sled, and I got to talk with him, and he's like, this guy that's coming up, he's got $40,000 in his Duramax. He made it halfway and it blew up. It's like, who has that kind of money? And the thing with tractor pulling is, it's a commitment. If you do that, there's not time for anything else, because you need to go travel around, and either your whole family's in it, or you can't do it. For a couple local ones, I know customers that are into it. They got a lot of money into a tractor that just runs a couple weekends a year at some fairs, and it's not a hobby that I enjoy. You gotta work on the tractor, you gotta store the tractor, it's expensive. I'd much rather build cars that you can drive, and it's like, hey, let's go for a nice drive on the lake, or let's go grab some ice cream, or I gotta go to town, I'm gonna take this. I never understood fixing up tractors or tractor pulling, because yes, the tractor's there and it's a work of art and I appreciate it, but then it's just there. It's not like you're gonna use it in the field or do anything, maybe pull some people around at the fair or something with a wagon behind you. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever, so no. My dream car, I don't know, a Sprinter van, and take everything out the back and put in a mattress and go cruise around the world. Like a 5-liter Coyote swap Bronco overlanding rig. I think that would be pretty cool. Maybe we should do one of those someday. I don't really have an opinion on Land Rovers because I've never worked on one. That's kind of the theory on the channel, is if I haven't worked on it, or I know somebody directly working on them that I can have a beer with and talk about why they enjoy or don't enjoy it, I really don't have an opinion. So until we get a Land Rover, I don't have one.
Have you ever worked on a Peugeot diesel engine?
Peugeot, no.
Mercedes heavy duty diesels and the Fiat diesels in the case equipment?
No.
12 or 24 valve second gen Cummins, which one?
Both. The VP pump is a pain in the ass. I've had 3 of them go. And those are videos that we just don't make, because it's just like, oh, here's another VP replacement. And it's just an expensive injection pump that is so fragile that 24 valve breathes better, and it's a better engine overall, but that VP pump is just a pain in the ass.
OM606?
OM606, if you guys have one, we'd love to get our hands on one in like 6 months, because we're pretty broke.
What do you think of Swedish Scania engines?
So never worked on them. They're super cool trucks. I'd love to hop in one and go on a road trip with somebody for a bit, but as for the engine itself, we don't have them, so I don't know. What's the best small block? Get an LS. You can do lots of stuff to a 350 and make acceptable horsepower, but you can do that so much easier, cheaper, and quicker with a 4.8, 5.3, or 6.0. It doesn't. So to me, those are the best engines. Looking at the Coyote too, it's like, it's bigger, it's more complicated, and it's a way better engine. The twin individual camshafts are awesome, but they're way more complicated and they are a lot more expensive. Best small block is 4.8, I guess. 4.8, look, it's right there. It's beautiful.
Best engine ever made?
What is best? Cheapest or most efficient? Iron Duke 2.5. Cannot kill that thing.
Why haven't you reviewed a 24 valve 5.9 or a 12 valve?
Oh yeah, let's do that. I have a 24 valve. I might be getting. I just bought a 24 valve. We will do everything wrong with a 24 valve. That is a good idea. Very good idea.
Most durable and rebuildable power plant?
DT360. Nice and quick, wet sleeves, cheap. Not kind of a dog. They go forever. I had it in the service truck, and that is a great, great medium-sized engine. Anything dry sleeve or parent bore is going to be a pain to rebuild. And then the heavy trucks, they're all, yeah, the mid-2000s were great eras for Cummins, Cat, and Detroit. The DT360s are good. The 466 is too heavy. I don't know. I think because they are really good engines, I think a lot of them went over to like Brazil and to Africa and stuff. They were smart enough to buy them when we were scrapping them. I know Dunnville Auto Records would just fill them with shipping containers and send them out. There's lots of DT466Es out there, but they're electronic and a lot of garbage. So, and garbage, I mean a lot of headaches with computers and wiring and gremlins and whatever else. So I don't see that many DTs around. The 3 years that we've been at VNR, I don't think I've seen a single DT 466, like original one, come through. In our area, they're all rotten, they're all scrapped, and all the engines are cut out and shipped overseas. We've got a video coming out on everything wrong with the 6.4 because there's one of those in the driveway. That would be pretty funny. And we will be getting to that once we get into the F350 because the dash is coming out of that one and the whole wiring harness. And that's going on the Cat to work with the Cat for the cruise switches and all that. So we'll be getting into the 6.4. So Stefan is still on the channel. He is a super busy guy. He's had a difficult year to say the least. He's been working through that. Still, his health is okay. He had a little scare in Europe there, but he's still on the channel. He's doing the bumper for the Audi right now. But as for the SRT, as right now, because of all the stuff that's going on in his life, is kind of a lower priority for him right now. But what you guys should do is follow Blackjack DEBOSS on Instagram and just say, where's the midget? We might even make a t-shirt. Would you buy a shirt that said, where's the dirty midget? The Mercedes LS is done. Believe it or not. One couple small little things to do to it yet. I still have it here. It's not a summer car. And then the whole not driving it now because the whole COVID thing, nobody's going anywhere, but it's got a Holly Pro Dash in it. I had some leaks that I had to fix, but it's on the road. I'm sure there's lots of little stuff yet. I got a little vibration in the diff I got to figure out yet, and that was the coupler that we welded to. But it is running and driving, and actually a pretty decent car, all things considering. Doing it again, I don't think I would do the turbo on it, but yeah, that one was a struggle for sure, my biggest struggle ever. But we're gonna persevere and finish. I don't think you'll see any more videos on it, just because the videos weren't doing that well, but hopefully we'll see it on like a power tour or a trip or something, and they can join us on that. So issue with that is every single piece is homemade. If anything breaks, there's nothing that I can do to fix it in less than like 6 hours. Everything is piled on top of each other. So if one piece breaks, I have to take 6 things apart to get to that part, then I have to remake that part and then put it back together again. So we really gotta make sure that everything is working together properly before we take it on long road trips. That's it. I have lost so much sleep over that car. Not bad. It's so the Mercedes is one thing. There's no blueprint or anything in there. It's just working on it and being excited about it, and actually like everything kind of, the room is there, like the engine, it takes 45 minutes to get that engine out and put another one back in it again. Everything is a lot of room, and everything kind of functionally works. The issue with that is when I close my eyes, I'm looking at it, I'm super excited about it, I'm moving this, and imagine seeing, like, you know, your exploded views when you look at like a parts diagram. When I close my eyes, I see an exploded view of the Audi, and I just can't turn it off. So I have to like go downstairs and watch stupid TV just until my brain just like shuts off, and then I wake up and I have to crawl upstairs and go to bed without lights on or without my brain waking up again, because I'll see that stupid exploded view again. If that makes any sense, that thing, I love that car so much, and I hate it at the same time because it's just so cool that I just can't get it out of my head. So, but the issue is I have part of that with the C10 too, because the C10 is actually coming together really, really nice. It's like I'm so tired and I need to stop, but then I physically can't do anything more, but then my head is still going, and it kind of sucks because I'm really tired, but it's super exciting at the same time. So I don't know if that explains anything. For what I've done with it right now, I've had the truck with the Cummins in it for 7 or 8 years, I think. And I would have done it exactly the same. 12 valve P pump, NV4500. I would have went to the metal clutch pedal right away rather than the plastic one. I broke 2 of them. And it has been a fantastic truck. I'm redoing the truck with a new body on it eventually. I have the body, and what I think I'm gonna do now is be stupid because the F350 is gonna be a reliable stock truck now. On our long trips, we're not doing anything stupid to the cat. We're bumping it up to the stock horsepower that engine has. We have to do that with the tune. We've got a nice transmission with it. We're not doing anything stupid with it. I think I can do a little bit more with the Silverado now, so I'll probably P-pump 24 valve it and looking into compounds on it. Wrecking stuff, wasting a lot of money on that. So stick around for that, see how we make out with that. Yeah, I still got the convertible. I have no idea what to do with that. No idea whatsoever. I want to do something with it. I think we were talking about that, so it's there. Vince said that he likes doing body work, so I'm like, oh, if YouTube pulls out of this COVID thing and we have some expendable money, maybe we will weld that thing up and get it going. But if you want to buy the cabriolet, we have a 1948 Chevy convertible 2-door. If you want to buy it, make an offer, and I'm okay to get rid of that one. And that was one of the 11 cars. Yeah. Last summer, Chevy flew us out to try out the new Silverados, and normally we wouldn't do that, but they came out with a new 3-liter inline 6 in the half-ton. I thought that was super cool. So Delta messed up our flights. It took us 23 hours to get from Toronto to Oregon after 4 stopovers, at least 3 stopovers. Yeah. And then we ended up in Oregon and we missed the entire day on the 3-liter diesel. So we got a hold of Chevrolet and said, give us the 3-liter diesel. And we want to do a decent review of the truck. And we said, hey, we are actually taking the Audi to LS Fest West in Vegas. How about you give us a brand new truck that we can tow the Audi with, and we could put about 10,000 kilometers on a brand new truck and then take it home again, and we can do a really good review on it. And they said, Rich, we really don't allow media vehicles to have more than 2,000 kilometers put on it. And then I said, please, and they said, all right. And of course that got canceled. So we're still grabbing the truck. We have a 3-liter Sierra coming next week, probably when this video is coming out, or yeah, it's coming out soon. So comment down below what you want me to do with a brand new 3-liter diesel Sierra. I'm very interested in the engine. It gets awesome mileage. We drove it a little bit, but they let us drive it the very end of the second day. And after not sleeping for like 30 hours, and we missed lunch because we were videotaping the heavy duty truck, I was very hangry. If you watch, we tried to release the video and I'm like, that's not me. I'm a pretty grouchy guy in that video. So comment down below is what you want to see me do with a brand new truck. Hopefully Chevrolet doesn't see this today because we're grabbing the truck on Monday, but we'll probably pull it in. We'll climb over it like nobody's ever climbed over a brand new vehicle before, pull plastic covers off and see how they build, how it is to work on. We're gonna have some fun with it, but I need some road trip ideas too. So, and road tripping where you can't go anywhere and don't have anything open. So comment down below. I've always ran the BFG mud terrains, all terrains, mud terrains. Trying to think, can't remember. They're on the, I've bought probably 4 or 5 sets of those. The open country Toyos that we put on the F350 were super nice in the summer. I haven't driven it in the snow, and I've heard that they're not great in the snow. They pack full and then they become slippery. And those are my only real experiences. I've had some shitty tires way back on my older trucks, but I've been running BFGs for a while. So I don't know what the best winter tire would be. BFGs are great until all of a sudden they're not. And you're like, oh, hey, I got lots of traction, we're good. 4-wheel drive, loving life through the snowstorm, and then all of a sudden 1 week you're like, oh, they hit that mark and now they're terrible. So I don't know. Comment down below as to what tires you guys think we should try out next. I don't really like dualies. No particular reason. They're terrible in snow because you just kind of slide all over the place. The only dually that I would do, honestly, is 2nd gen Dodge. Extended cab, which they only came with a nice P-pump in it. Pull out the Dodge transmission, put a nice Allison in behind there, jack it up just a little bit with a little bit bigger tires on it. I think that's about the only dually that I would do, and in red. It's got to be red. Other than that, I like my single wheel trucks. I don't pull anything heavy enough or load it down enough to need a dually, and I don't really like the looks of them. So no, they're terrible trucks. They ride like shit. They're noisy. I love Dodges for the fact that we can roll them into the driveway and yank the Cummins out and then just shove the Dodges out of the way. Why would you drive the 1st gen? I think they're ugly. I do like the 2nd gens. The way the fenders came in, it's one of those trucks where when you first see it, you're like, that is a beautiful truck, and I want that at some point. And the only other truck that I've had that with is the 2000 to 2006 Silverados and Sierras. I love that body style. When it first came out, I'm like, I want that truck at one time. And I'm lucky enough that I haven't found another truck like that where I'm like, I want that truck. I am happy with my 05. I love the look of the OBS Ford. I think I like the 70s Fords. I might get a 70s Ford at some time. But as for a new truck, as like 2000 and newer, I haven't really found anything that I really like stands out and go, man, I love that, and I want to have one of those at one time. I don't think I'll still ever buy a new one. We went to the auto show one year, and we're sitting in cars, and the one guy goes, could you see yourself sitting in one of these, sir? I'm like, yeah, in about 6 years. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to the auto show because in about 6 years from now, I'm going to buy a vehicle. I'd like to know what to get. And then he just turned and walked away. No, because nobody has a horse and buggy anymore, but you still see horses around, right? In my lifetime, we will always have an internal combustion engine. I'm okay with driving electric vehicles too. Electric vehicles make sense for driving around town, absolutely. They don't work for us because we do long trips and we haul a lot of stuff. Diesels will never disappear out of like farm equipment and construction equipment. I know it's starting to get out there, but the issue is when you're in a remote place, when you're digging a brand new subdivision, there's no electricity there when you're digging the sewers and whatnot. And then to charge all that is just way too much energy that the diesel engine will be around for a while yet. I'm sure that they're going to come up with something better, and that might take over, but I don't think the battery capacity is there in the next, they drastically have to change something about batteries to be able to make it work in excavating equipment. Now, I know they're out there. I know there's excavators out there. I know there was a John Deere tractor out there that had it, and I'm sure that they're working on it. I just don't believe that pulling your truck up to the side and pumping diesel into it to keep working is going to be replaced by battery in the foreseeable future. So pretty interesting. My shop teacher told me one time, he's like, sometimes you just gotta walk away. And I usually, and I do, but not for very long. I go in the house and grab a coffee or walk away or whatever, go do something different. But when it's a horrible, horrible day, you just realize that really isn't. It's funny with the whole Corona thing and stuff going on. It's like, oh, I'm cooped up inside my house and my kids are driving me nuts. Yeah, well, at least you have kids. Like, some people don't have kids. And my job sucks. Well, you got a job. there's always a better way to look at it. And even when stuff is terrible, it's not that bad. Walk away and whatever. The Corona thing, a lot of people struggling with that. And it's like, well, go back to World War II, where instead of staying home, you got recruited to go to war while your wife made bombs to go kill other fathers and mothers out there just because somebody told them that they should fight us because we don't believe in the same thing. It really could be a lot worse. So I don't have many days where I've had to bite my tongue and I've yelled and swore and threw something. I threw something once. I was mad, but then realized that that's kind of dumb too. It doesn't really do anything. So, yeah, keep your chin up, and it could be worse. I used to always say, well, at least it's not raining. And when it's raining, it's like, at least it's not snowing. If it's snowing, it's like, well, at least it's not raining. It's your look on life, I guess. There's a lot more in construction than there is in mechanics. Looking around my shop, I don't think there's a whole lot. I made those wheel lifts for the car, and those are pretty handy because it's really quick to just slide them under when you're picking up a car and you don't have to worry about, yeah, those things.
You want to say that we almost got...
Oh yeah, and then we almost got sued. We got told that we had to take that video down because we're infringing on somebody's patents. But here's a secret for you guys. If you make it yourself, there's no patent that can attack you. It's when you're selling them and making a profit that somebody can give you a cease and desist. So that's why when you invent something, you have to make it that the average person can't do it. I've seen like a holder for wire that clips onto a 2x4, and then you can unspool your wire for an electrician. By the time you sell that, by the time you patent it or find somebody to weld it together and ship it, anybody can look at that and like, oh, you put a weld here, and a bar there, and then I can make it myself in a half hour with scrap laying around the yard. Then that is perfectly legal. He cannot tell you, you have to stop using that because that was my idea. Well, you had to make it complicated enough. Like the DEBOSS is like a circuit board, speaker, microphone. There's code writing, all that. Nobody is going to do that themselves, which is why I invented it that way. So yeah, if that makes any sense. So the main things that I have for welding is the 260 heavy MIG, which is great for anything agricultural. The 140 Lincoln MIG, that one is awesome. I thought that it wouldn't be a good little welder, and it was like, all right, Lincoln asked us to promote it. I said, yeah, sure. You can have it back when I'm done with the video because I don't think that we need it. As soon as I got it, I'm like, I love this little welder. It is awesome for body work. It's nice. It doesn't burn through. It's nice and controlled. And then we have the 200 TIG. And I am not good enough at TIGging. So we actually have a neighbor down the road. He's an awesome welder. We're hiring him. He's been doing some work in the shop, TIGging the manifolds together for the C10, a whole bunch of aluminum stuff on the Audi, and it works great for me because I'm fabricating and making the pieces that need to go together, and then I give them to him, and but in 10 minutes he's got it welded, half hour got it welded, and in the meantime I've fabricated another bracket and then give that off to him. Very good welds. I want the seat time, but right now I don't have the time to get the helmet time to make my TIGs acceptable. And he's looking for work and he's a great guy, so might as well give him some more seat time. The only thing I would change about my shop, as I've said it before, is I put 10 by 10 doors in. It should have been 12 by 10. The height isn't an issue, it's the width. But the doors are perfect where I want them because I've never actually had to anything blocked in. I can drive through the shop, in and out. I love the mezzanine where it is. I love the hoists where they are. I'm nicely, I wouldn't hire the company that spray foamed my shop again because they did a terrible job. I was instantly dissatisfied with them. But, and the nice thing is that I put it up, I work in it, I figure out what I want. Now we're changing it to the way I really want 10 years later, because we've worked and we get to change some stuff, and I get to build it into the exact shop that I want, because I'm not going anywhere. So that's a good question, but not a fair question, because I've been out of the trade too long. So I left my agricultural shop in 2002, I think. 18 years. I've been self-employed, maybe a little bit later, 2004. And back then we were working on velmets. We started a velmet dealer, Valtra Velmet, and then not for very long, because nobody wanted to buy them and be the first one. So we quit that dealership. It used to be a Massey Ferguson dealership, and they were great tractors back then. And I never really worked on the case or the John Deeres. We worked on some older John Deeres in there, and I didn't really like the older John Deeres. I found a lot of stuff that they did was stupid, like the injectors with the plastic washers in them, the rock shaft that bends to push on the, it's stupid. And then I got out of it. So I don't have a preferred brand right now, because I went into construction, built the house and shop, and then did a lot of excavating company. And he was strictly John Deere, so we worked on a lot of John Deere heavy equipment, and they were fine. But as for agricultural, I can't give you an honest answer, because I've been out of it too long. So Kevin will tell you Case, Millennial Farmer will tell you John Deere, the Welker boys will tell you Case. But when you go to a John Deere dealership, it's all John Deere in the shop. When you go to a New Holland dealership, it's all New Hollands in the shop. They all break, they all have their pluses and their minuses, just like cars. So the best thing to do, obviously, would be take the engine of one and the transmission of another and cab of another one, build your own. Don't do that. But
would you do a tractor restoration?
Would I do a tractor restoration? Here's my problem. I don't want everyone to half-ass anything. If I half-ass it, so if you look at the C10, the body is kind of half-assed because it's rusted, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. But everything underneath is nice and neat and tidy and organized, and that's kind of the OCD in me that I like. So if I take an old tractor, I can't just like grab crappy paint and paint it and paint over dents and stuff, because I'm not going to appreciate it when I look at it. And to get it to the standard that I want is going to be expensive, and to put money into something that you can't drive, you can't use, you can't do anything with, it's kind of pointless. I'd much rather take that money and go sit on a beach in Dominican for a week, take the family and do that, rather than having something that takes up space and constantly needs work. I will not do a tractor restoration in the foreseeable future, but maybe, I don't know, not right now. I did, a good story on that one. Allis Chalmers, I think it was a 1700 or 1750 or 1755, so long ago I can't remember, but good story. Pig farmer down the road had a tractor. He said, I had it rebuilt and it never ran right since day one. I had to ether it to get it going in the summer, and then we ethered it so much that we finally blew it up again. We tore it apart ourselves, and now I don't know what I'm doing, and here's a box of parts, and why don't you rebuild it? And I told him, I'm gonna rebuild it, and it's gonna run exactly the way it did before, because I didn't get to diagnose it before you tore it all apart. He says they put 3 injection pumps on it, that didn't fix it, and then the ether blew the rings over on the piston. So rebuilt the whole thing, sure enough, couldn't get it started without ether, it ran like ass, smoked like crazy. They said that they called the shop and said, oh, it just needs to be broken in, it's fine. They didn't do anything with it. Turns out that they sent the head out, and instead of rebuilding that head, they took another head off of the shelf and sent that one back, which was the difference between a 1750 and a 1755, I think. And the recession on the valves was the difference. And the valves were protruding from the head in the one and recessed into the head in the other, and that dropped the compression enough that it would not start. So we had a 1750 out in the yard that was seized. So I'm like, maybe it had the wrong pistons in it. So I took the head off, flipped it up, like, nope, same pistons, same dish in there, and then I noticed that the valves were sticking out just slightly farther. Did some homework and realized that it had the wrong head on it. We sent that head out to get rebuilt, put that head on there, purred like a kitten. That was my Allis Chalmers story. So as a mechanic, you never know what you're looking at or who touched it or who did what. And it really is a lot of fun diagnosing when you get it. And there are some that just beat you to death and where you just have to say, I'm sorry, that's the best that I can do.
Would you buy Rob Ferretti's tractor? He's selling it for $3,500.
Rob bought that tractor. Rob, I hope you can make some content on that stupid thing, because what you need is a nice little Kubota 3-cylinder diesel with a loader, 4-wheel drive, and then you can turn the key and go, but that makes for poor content. The thing's a piece of shit. Don't buy it. Sorry, Rob. Rob, here's what you do to get your $3,500. You take the tractor, you dig a hole with it, you park the tractor inside, you light it on fire, you make a video on that, you bury it in your yard somewhere, and then that's it. That's about the best that that tractor can do for you. Get your YouTube revenue and then just scrap the thing. I think the best automatic right now and most affordable is probably one of the Allisons, the 4-speed or the 5-speed. There's a lot of support for them. There's a lot of aftermarket companies that will help you be able to build them up. They're a nice beefy transmission. When you look at them, there's enough mass there that there should be some good stuff happening inside. If you look at any Dodge transmission, you got this massive engine and then you got this cute little transmission thingy going on behind it. And you should be able to look at that going down the assembly line. It's like, that's not gonna work. The Allisons have some beef to them. And with the support, I would say it's not cheap, but probably the best auto. All right, guys. Hopefully that kept you entertained for a little bit. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. If you haven't checked out the heavy duty channel, check that out, DGHD. We will be throwing more content up there in a little bit. We're waiting to get monetized there so we can pay our bills. And yeah, we're gonna keep plugging away. More C10 coming up right away, actually. That'll be next week. And we got a 4BT review going on. And then we were going to unveil the Audi at LS Fest West. We were gonna meet up with Hoonigan, have some fun with them. Scotto is a big Audi fan. We wanna go race Scotto in that. And unfortunately that's not happening. So I don't even know where we can even drive it or test it or do something with it. We'll figure that out as we go. We're gonna keep working on the GTO and the F350. Scott's working on the engine right now. So thanks for watching. Hopefully I answered most of your questions. I'm sorry to all the people in the sidebar that I didn't get to. And thank you to everybody for supporting the channel. Stay safe, guys, there. Check out the Quarantine Car Show and go out in the garage and work on your stuff. Here we go.